In this video, we will show you how to configure IKAN ALM. We will create a project and specify its lifecycle, levels and environments. Let's first have a look at the installed version control repository. Go to the section Global Administration and select Version Control Repositories Overview from the submenu. If you click the Edit icon in front of the VCR, the details will be displayed. We will start by creating our project. On the main menu, you select Project Create. Enter the name and the description for the project. Next, select the version control repository. The VCR project name does not need to be filled in, as this is not necessary as we are using a single release-based project. Specify AND as the build and deploy tools type. Enter the name of the build and the deploy script. And enter the build prefix. Confirm the creation of the project, and we are ready to define our project's lifecycle. On the menu, go to Lifecycles, Create. A lifecycle defines the logical steps of the ALM process. At the moment you create a project, the base lifecycle, which is linked to the Subversion trunk, will be automatically created. This lifecycle will be used for ongoing development. The logical steps within the lifecycle are called levels in IKAN ALM. 3 different level types can be connected to a lifecycle: build, test, or production levels. At least one build level must have been assigned to a lifecycle before you can create any level request for the project stream connected to that lifecycle. To create a build level, you click the Create Build Level link in the Build Levels panel. Specify the name and description. Check the Debug option. Activating the Debug option leaves the work locations intact, which makes it easier to track things in the beginning, in case a build fails, for example. Once everything runs smoothly, you can deactivate this option, and from then on the work locations will be cleaned up. Fill out the other fields and click the Create button. We are now back on the lifecycle overview. Our build level has been added to the Define Levels panel, and now we can define the required deploy levels. To do so, use the Create Test and Create Production level links. The number of test and production levels in a lifecycle is unlimited. The creation of those levels is very similar to the creation of a build level. The result should be similar to this one. We have now 3 deploy levels, 1 for test, 1 for acceptance, and 1 for production. The last configuration step before we can start working with our project is the definition of the different build and deploy environments. The build environment is a physical location where the code, retrieved from the VCR, is built. It must be assigned to a level in order to become active. The creation of such an environment is done on the Create Build Environment window. The most important fields on this window are the name of the environment and the source and target locations. The sources we want to build will be transferred from the version control repository to a subdirectory of the source location. The results will be placed in the target location. You are free to specify those locations. You can also make the builds downloadable. For this demo, we will activate the debug option. Normally, the source and target locations are cleaned up after the build, unless you activate this option. Until everything runs smoothly, it's recommended to activate the debug option. Specify the level you want to assign the build environment to, and select the machine to which it must be related, and select the build tool. When that's done, confirm the creation. Next, you should create a deploy environment for each of the levels. Deploy environments are locations where a deploy tool uses a deploy script to unpack and deploy a build result. Just as the build environment, the deploy environments must be assigned to a level. The definition of the deploy environments is similar to that of the build environments. Select Create from the Deploy Environment submenu and fill out the fields. You repeat this process for each of the deploy environments you need. The final result will look similar to this one. We have 3 deploy levels: test, acceptance, and production, and each of them is linked to a deploy environment. Everything is now ready to start working with IKAN ALM. Our final goal is to automate the ODI build and deploy processes. That's where the IKAN ALM phases come into the picture. IKAN ALM phases are predefined, parameter-driven, reusable package building blocks. Those building blocks allow you to fully automate your lifecycle management process. We have 3 types of phases: core phases, solution phases, and custom phases. The IKAN ALM core functionality is performed by so-called core phases. Those phases cannot be altered nor deleted as they are an integral part of IKAN ALM. Solution phases are phases delivered by RedBridge or RedBridge partners which execute specific processes, like in the case of ODI, the build process, to get objects or scenarios out of the VCR and put them in an archive for further deployment use, and the deploy process to deploy the archive, objects or scenarios to ODI. Custom phases are phases you can develop yourself, and that also can be used for specific tasks. The Levels overview allows you to display the default level phases by clicking the Edit Phases icon in front of the level. On the Build or Deploy Environments menu, you can access the different phases. So far, we have installed and configured the first 2 components needed for our LCM for ODI solution. Next, you should install and configure the LCM for ODI solution phases. For more information on our company and products, we invite you to visit our website. Thank you for watching.